appreciating that I am exactly where I need to be, faking it. Number one, all of us type A people who are constantly striving and pushing, and everybody's faking it. And it's so true. I have an incredibly clear job to do. Everyone doesn't really know what they're talking about. My earbud just fell out. That's how strongly I feel about that.
How did Vice President of Marketing for Bud Light, Alissa Heinerscheid, unintentionally reveal that she wasn't the right person for the job before the backlash? What were the most important signs? And what are the red flags that CEOs should watch out for when hiring employees? Hang on, because things are about to get empowering. Time to get the show on the road. Heinerscheid's struggle with gratitude, feeling grateful, is one of the major signs that you would go on to upset the target audience. In the following, I'll explain why. First off, what does she say about gratitude?
And what inspires you to live better?
I really try to have gratitude. And I know it's a word a lot of people are talking about right now, but I really try to feel gratitude every day in some real, true way. Gratitude for the sunrise colors, gratitude when I'm walking my kids to school really early in the morning on their buses. Just a moment of gratitude inspires me to truly appreciate, gosh, we live life. Like, that's an incredible thing, to be alive and to be appreciative and experiencing things with others. So just gratitude is the thing that inspires me, I would say.
Twice, she says she tries to have gratitude, not that she is grateful.
I really try to.
And she shifts from the pronoun I to the generalizing we when making generic statements about being appreciative.
Gosh, we live life.
Thus, her language indicates that gratitude doesn't come easy to her, as emphasized by the phrase,
in some real, true way.
Nothing says real and true like saying the words. Heinerscheid's good at making generic statements about things she knows should make her happy. But does family life actually make her happy? Or does it make her feel estranged?
I had lost joy in everything. That I was sort of going through the motions of parenting and marriage. I just didn't find any joy in any of it. That's where I had this project. That's where this project was born. It's called 100 Women in 100 Days. And it was all sparked from that conversation with my husband where he was like, you have got to find your pipeline of joy again, or this family doesn't function. It was really tough for me. Surrogacy was incredibly difficult. Imagine holding space in your worry box for both incredible like appreciation and gratitude and love for this true stranger in your life, but also resentment and anger that you're at them, that you're even in this position that you're so intimately connected to a complete stranger.
The commonality here is Heinerscheid's prominent self-focus, focus on her own feelings of happiness and joy, even going as far as to introduce misplaced happiness exercises to her team.
I took this fabulous class in college, and it was called Happiness. It was like 1,200 people. And one of the things, and I always tell this to my teams, that was so revolutionary about this happiness class is he had us keep a journal. What are the things that make you happy? What are the things that bring you joy?
Yeah.
We do this happiness exercise. I'm like, literally take out your notebook. You're going to give every day for 2 weeks a grade. You're going to say 1, really unhappy, 2, medium happy, 3, happy.
It's hard to believe that this is coming from a vice president of marketing for a major corporation. With these happiness exercises, she's teaching her team to be just as self-focused as she is. How they feel from day to day rather than focusing on what's best for the company and the company's target audience. She ignores one of the most important pillars of organizational theory, corporate identity. A corporate identity provides the stability that employees need, that regardless of what they feel from day to day, they can be sure that they have a shared goal and shared values to reach that goal. How can you create a unit when everyone feels something different? When you search this hard for happiness, as if it's a lasting emotion in the first place, you can be sure to never find it. And it's far removed from the focus that she and her team should have, the target audience, what they want, and just as important, what they don't want. Next, the verb try once again emphasizes Heinerscheid's struggle with gratitude.
What's in your worry box now, and what are you striving for now?
I think right now I'm trying to be happy in the now, sort of exactly appreciating that I am exactly where I need to be right now, which is a very difficult thing, I think, for all of us type A people who are constantly striving and pushing and thinking about the next.
Yeah.
But I have an incredibly clear job to do in on Bud Light, on this incredible iconic brand. And
she shifts pronoun again from I to we, placing herself in a group of type A people. This way, she makes it sound like she's not the only one struggling to feel happy. With the conjunction but, she contrasts the struggle to the very clear job she has.
But I have...
And considering that this job didn't turn out to be so clear after all, to say the least, it appears that Heinerscheid has more deep-rooted problems than just feeling happy and appreciative.
It has been tough and tense and a struggle, and I struggled a ton in the early part of my career with imposter syndrome.
In her early years, she says, as if this feeling belongs to the past. However, 30 seconds later, it's made clear that she's still following imposter advice. And how can you lead other people when you can't lead without feeling like an imposter? What we're about to hear is one of the most revealing and worrying statements I've ever heard.
Probably the most impactful piece of advice I've ever heard, Beth Comstock.
I've seen her speak, and she is amazing. Amazing.
And this one girl raised her hand and was like, I just want to know, where do you get your confidence from? And so she had this fantastic answer. She talked about faking it, number one. She was like, I fake it all the time. And you realize the more senior you get, everybody's faking it. And it's so true. Everyone doesn't really know what they're talking about.
It speaks volumes that this is the kind of advice she considers to be fantastic. Faking it is the only way out for Heinerscheid to come across as the executive she doesn't even feel confident that she is.
Everybody's faking it, and it's so true. Everyone doesn't really know what they're talking about.
This is disingenuous, wishful thinking. Heinerscheid wishing that she's not the only one who has to fake it. This should make the company question how much they can trust her in general, especially because of many buzzwords when explaining the idea behind the campaign that didn't work out, to say the least. Sound about as authentic as Jimmy Fallon's reactions.
A couch! A mug! You know, you're like...
Let's watch.
You know, I'm a businesswoman. I had a really clear job to do when I took over Bud Light. Okay, what does evolve and elevate mean? It means inclusivity. It means shifting the tone. It means having a campaign that's truly inclusive and feels lighter and brighter. And representation is at sort of the heart of evolution.
The fact that she's faking it explains why these buzzwords sound as fake as they do. And that's why on this channel I always point them out. Because buzzwords are designed to deceive, to make the speaker sound in touch and politically correct, while they're actually exposing that there's very little substance to the speaker's goals and ideas. Yet, in companies all over the world, employees have to go along with each and every buzzword their CEO introduces, even when these employees know it's not the way to go. And looking at Heinerscheid's words, they're completely empty. Inclusivity isn't a goal in and of itself. It all depends on the brand or product you're selling and who your target audience is. It speaks volumes that her focus isn't on good content, but a buzzword. She also doesn't define the adjectives lighter and brighter. Both words are subjective, completely dependent on each individual's context-specific definition of them. All of this is directly related to Heinerscheid's struggle with gratitude. First of all, it's difficult or impossible, more like it, to feel grateful for a job you have to fake. Secondly, having to fake it makes the person ignore and not appreciate the target audience, because they spend all their time worrying about themselves. If they make a good impression, if people believe them and don't see through their act. This can lead to disrespecting the target audience.
Bud Light had been kind of a brand of fratty, kind of out of touch humor, and it was really important that we had another approach. So
previously, she said that gratitude inspires her, and she called Bud Light an iconic brand.
So just gratitude is the thing that inspires me, I would say, on this incredible iconic brand. And
Heinerscheid knows which terms to use to sound appreciative, but the way she talks about and ignores the target audience tells a different story. A story with her personal feelings at the forefront. Her prominent self-focus, what makes her happy and gives her joy, can also lead to a critical lack of self-reflection.
What's one thing you're striving to spend your time on or striving to spend more time on, and one thing that you're trying to stop doing?
One thing I'm trying to stop doing is I'm trying to stop overanalyzing things in the wake of meetings. I'm trying to have a shorter memory, basically, is how I would translate that. I think the key to my success is I get out of meetings and for 3 days, I'm like, I could have been more articulate. That wasn't as effective. And you know what? What a waste of energy. Holy smokes.
You're the only one thinking about it.
So I'm really trying to shorten that 3-day. I'm the only one, and you know whose energy is getting wasted? Mine. So I am trying to shorten, for impact, my earbud just fell out. That's how strongly I feel about that. So I'm trying to shorten my window from 3 days to 3 hours of memory, of overthinking and overanalyzing.
Great one.
Actually, that's not necessarily a great one, especially not if you're an executive who already feels that you have to fake it to make it. Sir? I'm busy. This game is too funny. It's kind of important. Okay then, what is it? It's just that a year ago you said I would get paid for overtime. Yes? But it seems to me I've been working overtime for the past year without getting paid. You're overanalyzing. How so, sir? Try to have a shorter memory. You'll feel so much better if you do. It's such a waste of energy. I'll tell you what, you're the only one thinking about it. I feel strongly about this, so relax. What do you say we get back to work? While overanalyzing is obviously bad, it's in the word. It doesn't necessarily mean that that was what Heinerscheid was doing. Trying to stop overanalyzing can easily turn into a pretext for inaction, so that you don't have to change your mindset and approaches and hold yourself accountable. Looking at what went before this passage, with Heinerscheid talking about imposter syndrome and faking it, what sounds a lot more likely is that she uses overanalyzing as a shield from the painful but correct realization that she didn't belong in the job, a job that isn't about her and her team's personal happiness, but the target audience. There are major problems with Heinerscheid's statements, however, they're not the primary problem. The primary problem is that the upper management didn't see all the red flags I pointed out. Instead, they praised their recruitment tactic.
You know, we have the ability to recruit amazing talent, and we're very deliberate about it in terms of who we bring in, making sure that they're the right fit for the culture of how we do business. And those folks are who we depend on to really run the business.
This excerpt shows that there doesn't have to be a correlation between what a CEO says and reality, because in reality, who was the amazing talent that was the right fit for the culture? An employee who's obviously more concerned with her own well-being than the company's well-being, and teaches her team to have the same mindset. However, when both the vice president and president have been taught that buzzwords supersede content, I guess it's difficult to spot the red flags.
And with that, we put innovation front and center. And we wouldn't be here, right, for 170 years if innovation wasn't front and center. If we weren't good at innovating and changing what we do and seeing trends and matching trends and working differently, then there's no chance that we would be still here today.
Innovation, another buzzword which means nothing without context. The two things Whitworth praises here, innovation and matching trends, are exactly why the brand is now in decline, to say the least. This goes to show that when it comes to branding, memorizing new management speak isn't enough. You have to be able to communicate with your target audience, not as a tactic, but because you actually can and will communicate with them. You can't learn appreciation by reading a book or taking a management course. The Bud Light phenomenon is a cautionary tale. It shows what happens when feelings and vague new management terms are at the forefront, rather than the consumer that both Whitworth and Heinerscheid keep talking about and appealing to, but have little understanding and appreciation of. Appreciation, gratitude is the first step to success, and you don't find it in happiness exercises. You either have it or you don't. If you like the video, you can support the channel by liking and subscribing. Have a nice day.